International Comedy Festival. He won the Cleveland International Comedy Festival, and next week he will be at the Lucille Ball Theater in Jamestown, New York, headlining the American Comedy Festival. Let's welcome Mr. Al Park.
Oh, thank you, Rick. It's good to be here. Thank you for coming out, by the way. A lot of people will try to come out to things, and they just don't make it. You ever get asked to come to something and you tell them this? You're like, yeah, we're going to try. Are you going to try? Because I think you're definitely not going to come. That is the dumbest thing to say, by the way. We're going to try to come. That's not even... You wouldn't call your office and be like, yeah, I'm going to try to come in tomorrow. But if I don't make it, I hope everybody gets cake. Isn't that dumb? You should just say no. You know, just once I want to be like, hey, are you going to come to my thing? And somebody's just like, no. And I'll be like, why? And they'll be like, does it matter? I'd be like, actually, it doesn't. I just appreciate your honesty. Thank you. The dumb thing about that is that you're going to have to see that person again when you don't go to their thing. And then you're going to have to come up with an excuse on the fly, you know, and they'll be like, hey, how come you didn't come to my thing? And you'll be like, listen, like I said, we tried. We tried real hard, yeah, but we had car trouble. We got in the car and we put the key in the ignition, and then we remembered that we hate your fucking wife, actually. Yeah, we don't even... Yeah, we don't like her face. We just took the key out, we went back inside, we watched Netflix. We had a good night, yeah. And we tried to come right up until that point. We really were almost there. It's pretty cool. I took an Uber here tonight, which is amazing technology. Isn't it amazing that we just get into people's cars? We don't think about it that way anymore. We think it's legit, but that is bare. There's just a thin veneer of professionalism clinging to the whole idea of Uber. It is very thin, and it's easy to see through it, and it happened to me recently. You ever gotten into the wrong Uber? Yeah, I've done it twice. That'll tell you just how not professional it is. I've done it twice. The first time I was in a rush, and I saw a silver Prius, and then I saw a silver Prius just stopped like right there on the street, and I just got into that thing, and I shut the door. I was like, hit it, man, I'm running late. Turns out it wasn't just not my Uber, it was not an Uber. It's just a fucking Prius, yeah. And that guy freaked the fuck out, let me tell you. He screamed at me. He like puts his hand, he's like, get the fuck out of my car. I was like, take me to my destination. I am paying for this. And we had a real miscommunication that if Uber did not exist, it's just a carjacking on my part. That is a flat out carjacking. It happened to me twice. The second time it happened to me, you could tell it had happened to the guy before, because he literally said, he put his arm out, he goes, sir, I am not an Uber. And I was like, listen, this is the second time this has happened to me. Maybe the issue's on your end. Maybe don't buy a silver Prius and stop. Because some dickhead's gonna get into that thing and demand a ride, you know? We really are living in, like, things move really quickly right now. I was at a party recently, and I know you guys were like, nope, no you weren't, but I was. And I guess they ran out of weed, because I overheard this sentence. Some guy goes, oh, I'll just Uber to the dispensary. Which, that sentence didn't exist like 5 years ago. That is a very modern sentence. If you'd have heard that sentence 5 years ago, it could have just sounded like, I'm gonna gleep glorp to the dip diddle. Right? Well, those words had no meaning. You'd just be like, I don't even know what gleep glorp is. And frankly, dip diddle sounds pretty dirty. I'm gonna have to go on urbandictionary.com. See what a dip diddle is. By the way, the guy that said that was back at the party in like 45 minutes with weed. And I'm old enough to remember when that same round trip took a month and a half, actually. People died along the way, yeah. There were multiple different stops, and it was weird. You had to feed a ferret at one point. It was a strange situation, you know. You just end up in a black room light with a guy named Louis. Just a strange, it was a weird time. Very strange. I don't know. We used to run out of weed. I know when I look at people's faces now, when I say that, see a couple older people know what I'm talking about. People under 30, they look at me like, no fucking way. Yeah, we used to run out of, there just was no weed for months at a time. Yeah. People's lives would change. Literally, lives hung in the balance. You'd be sitting there, there'd be no weed for a couple weeks. You'd be hanging out at a table, you just talk to your buddy, you'd look over, he'd be like, I think I'm gay. And then he would join the army. And if weed was around, that whole thing wouldn't have happened. We got dispensaries, we got Uber. By the way, Uber, nobody would have believed you if you'd told them about Uber 5 years ago. If you'd have told someone 5 years ago that in 2019, like literally anyone could realize their dream of being a taxi driver, they would have been like, shut the fuck up. Anyone? Not just the elites? When did that switch over? Yeah, anyone. You just gotta drive drunk sorority girls from one electronic dance music venue to another, and then along the way they are gonna puke in your personal automobile. And FYI, you have to clean it up. It's a real win-win. What a fucking invention, though. That is so good. It is like to replace cabs. Fucking, that's amazing. Like, I don't even know how cabs are in existence now. They're twice the price. Have you taken a cab recently?
Yes.
Just for like Throwback Thursday? Just to fucking, I know. How bad is it? You hail that thing down, you open the door, you step into that collection of smells, right? You sit down, you look up, there's already $8.50 in the meter, you're like, okay. I guess, I don't remember how this works. Is that the charge for getting into the car? Or is that the charge for being a piece like an idiot? For not taking an Uber? I took one and I was like reminiscing, and I felt like I immediately felt like I was getting ripped off too. You know what I mean? There's no map, there's no nothing. This guy's navigating by moonlight. I don't even know what he is. You know what I mean? He's just got one of those maps that's like a giant book. You know, I don't even know what he's doing. I feel like I was getting. You ever do this? I took out my Google. I took out my phone. I Google mapped it. I just leaned over and I was like, I'm gonna audit this motherfucker. You know, you sit there, you see, you're just going exactly the opposite direction of the destination. You try to get the driver's attention, but he's on 2 separate international long-distance calls. Feeling good lately. I've been real busy untagging myself in unflattering Facebook photos. That is what I spend the majority of my afternoons doing. You ever do that? You ever untag yourself in a Facebook photo because you're just in denial? You know, you're just like, yeah, I'm sorry, that's not me. That's probably my fat cousin I've never met, but that's not. I mean, that's my house and my car. I'll give it. That's my wife and my children, but that is not my ugly face and body. Untag. That's what you actually look like, though. You realize that? You look like the worst picture of yourself. You do not look like the best picture of yourself. Right? It's true. I'm just stating a fact. When you can prepare for a picture, that is not... You can't just walk around like this all day. You know, you can't... And we never see the bad picture because we can't literally walk behind ourselves when we're bending over to get a fucking hot dog from the... Like, we can't see it. We never see the bad side of us because your mind catches up very instantly. The closest you will come is, and you guys have probably experienced, you walking by the bathroom mirror in the morning and you catch just a glimpse of yourself out of the corner of your eye and you're like, fuck, Jesus. And then you look back and you're like, all right, still got it. That is a human. I don't know what that thing I saw was for a second. Probably a ghost. Every once in a while, you'll catch it though. It's very difficult to do, but you can actually catch yourself in a bad photo position in real life. I did it recently. I was in my bathroom shirtless, which is something I now know I shouldn't even do by myself. And I was bending over, which is not a good look for me. And I know myself well enough to not look up at the mirror from this position. So I'm keeping my head down. I'm grabbing a Q-tip or whatever it was. I heard a noise behind me. And, I did that thing where you automatically look back to see what it is. And turns out there's a side mirror in my bathroom, and I caught myself in a real fucking crouching tiger, hidden bag of shit position. And it was so fucking horrifying, I had to look back in the front mirror and be like, listen, you're a good person. That is not you. Untag. By the way, if you're not sure what you look like to the world, people will tell you. If you just listen to the questions people ask you, that'll tell you a lot what you look like. I travel a lot for comedy. I'm in hotels week after week, month after month. I've been doing it for years. Never once in any hotel has anyone come up to me and said, hey, do you know where the fitness center is? I could have a fucking barbell over my head and I'll still get do you know if this hotel has a waffle station question? I get the waffle station question, and I get it. That's just what I am. I don't want to be the waffle station guy, but that's what I'm, and you just have to accept it, But I get defensive. People ask me for food recommendations sometimes, and you should ask a fat person, because we know where to eat, but I will get defensive. I was in Cincinnati recently doing a show. After the show, just on the street, some guy comes up to me. I didn't know him, and he goes, excuse me, sir, do you know where a good diner is around here? And I was like, did you just look for the closest fat guy? Is that your diner discovery system? You just find the nearest fat guy, you just walk up to him, you ask him where the diners are, just automatically assume the fat guy knows where the diners are, huh? And then I was like, yeah, I know where a couple good diners, I know where like 6 good diners are, yeah. I was like, how much do you want to spend? Because there's different options. And then we talked about diners for, I'm not kidding, like a good half hour. After which he was like, boy, you sure know a lot about diners. How long have you lived in Cincinnati? I was like, I got here an hour ago. I've just been researching diners since I booked this trip 14 months ago, because that's what fat people do. We prepare. Thank you so much, guys. I'm Al Park.